All right, welcome back to Diesel Talk with Tony Salas. I'm perky this morning. It's a Friday, but thought I'd mention something about diesel and what's going on. So those of you that are seeing diesel, we see a lot of applications going on with a diesel application from, like, for example, the Chevy 1500 with the 3-liter diesel. We also have the Ram Cummins also with a 3-liter diesel, and Ford has dropped their F-150, but there's still a few of those 3-liter diesels out there. So when we talk about diesel, you got to understand what diesel has gone through. So if you're living in old technology where you saw diesels, well, diesels can go and go and go. Well, technically they still can, but unfortunately, due to emissions, we got a lot of things going on with these diesels. So as you can see behind me, and I'll just put my head over there, we got a 3-liter motor. We're pulling out 75,000 miles on this engine, and in this case the customer had been really religious about taking their vehicle in for maintenance. Well, I don't know if they did the maintenance, because at 75,000 the lower end is gone. And if you read a little bit about these VM Motori motors, no, they're not the Mercedes-Benz 3-liter, it's the VM Motori motor. And in this case, you're going to find out that these engines can have some issues with the lower end crank. Well, that's what pretty much has happened. So therefore, we have adopted this vehicle, and therefore we're in the midst of actually pretty much taking the motor out. So I guess what I'm trying to get to is, if you're into diesels and you want to, hey, I want a diesel, I want the mileage, yeah, because these vehicles will give you good mileage, but you need to understand that you can't think the old mentality of diesel. What do I mean by that? That old mentality of diesel was, I can just go and go and go, but you forget about maintenance. These vehicles have after treatment, and they have common rail injection. They got turbochargers, but the problem is you cannot treat them like an old diesel. What I mean by that is just turn the key and let's go. No, they require maintenance. So this is a classic example of an engine that there's given some issues, and the bottom line is, how many miles do you want out of the vehicle? So Jeep Wrangler has released this new generation of this motor. So it's an updated motor of this, but they've released that on the Jeep Wranglers, on the Rubicons, the Wranglers, even the Gladiators. Those diesels are available. So the question begs, are you going to be treating it like it's a new diesel or an old diesel? And what I mean by new diesel is maintenance. Now, this is where I'm going to get in trouble, but I don't care. As a technician, as an instructor, and working in field engineer, working in my past, I can tell you, you cannot be messing around with maintenance of these. And I know the manufacturers are calling for 10,000 mile oil change intervals. You can't do that. Most of the time, we're asking for somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 mile change intervals, and also other maintenance you got to do, such as the common rail injection. And if you're also new to diesel, or maybe you think you know diesel, fuel is not the same. One problem we get is diesel, consistency in diesel. What is the consistent diesel? In other words, north of us, we got Utah, we got California, we got Arizona, not far here from Las Vegas. And in this case, diesel is a problem sometimes. I don't know why, but it's not consistent across the board. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you got to understand that diesel isn't always consistent, which requires you to always change or maintain a maintenance program for the fuel filters. Air filters is another thing too. All I'm saying is, if you're going to be taking on a diesel, you got to understand it's not going to be free. And what I mean by that is, includes maintenance. So kind of a wise investment. This vehicle is a 2014, so could you imagine if this thing was running, put together? It's easily worth a minimum of somewhere between 18 to 20 something thousand dollars. So it is worth fixing, but what I'm trying to say is the costs are also exorbitant. In other words, very high, extremely costly. So we got to watch out how we maintenance. So you got to take care of the baby, in other words. So if you're a guy that's looking into a Jeep, or you're looking into a Ram 1500, you're looking into a Duramax 3-liter, what you have to keep in mind is you got to maintain it. And in this case, that 10,000 mile oil change intervals, or those extended oil change intervals, don't cut it. And here's a classic example. Once again, 75,000 miles on this Jeep, and you got to watch out what's going on. So, going to cost you money. So once again, this poor baby, she's going to be coming out, and you can see a nice view of it. But all I'm saying is, it could have been prevented if maintenance was done correctly. So no 10,000 mile intervals, oil change intervals, and change those fuel filters frequently. You got any questions, send a comment. I never get comments. I never ask people to give me comments. So give me a comment. And if you like this video, put the thumbs up too. Thanks for watching.